me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. BOMBA intensifies flood response in Kuching after heavy downpour. Malaysia requests a reciprocal visa waiver with Canada. In world news, 20 coal miners killed in Pakistan, Balochistan province attacks. The Malaysia Fire and Rescue Department, BOMBA, has intensified its flood response efforts in Kuching after a heavy afternoon downpour inundated several areas of the city. Teams were dispatched to assess and manage the flooding, which affected key locations including Padang Merdeka, where preparations are ongoing for tomorrow's Grand Parade in celebration of the Sarawak Governor's 78th birthday. The rain, which began around 2 p.m., caused significant water build-up at the event venue, soaking the elevated seating and leaving ankle-deep water on the carpets. Photos from BOMBA showed debris, leaves and dirt scattered across the site, disrupting the setup. BOMBA has also deployed teams to other flooded areas, namely Jalan Kuong Li Bang and Jalan Pearl. Thankfully, the department has reported that water levels around Padang Merdeka have now receded. The Rural Air Services RAS subsidy agreement for Sabah and Sarawak, which was set to end this year, has been extended for another year. Transport Minister Anthony Loh explained that the decision was made as negotiations for the Sarawak government's takeover of Maswing, the operator of the RAS, have not yet been completed.
Loh said that the Cabinet agreed on October 8 to extend the RAS subsidy for an interim period of 1 year as Sarawak and the Malaysia Aviation Group MAG are still in discussions about the takeover. The current RAS agreement, signed 7 years ago, will now be extended until December 31. The federal government is open to further discussions for a long-term agreement. Loh confirmed that the 209 million ringgit annual subsidy will continue. Loh expressed hope that the negotiations and the takeover of Maswings by the Sarawak government can be finalized by the end of this year. Previously, Premier Sarawak Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Junabang had said that Maswings, which will be a Sarawak-owned airline company, is scheduled to begin operations in 2025.
Sarawak's new economy policy, which emphasizes green and digital economy, as well as diversifying sources of income, is aligned with the needs of the 21st century. Nobel Prize-winning economist Professor Joseph Stiglitz believes that the innovative approach and comprehensive development agenda introduced by the Premier Sarawak, Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, are well suited to addressing current global challenges.
A little bit and a REM some. It's a very comprehensive agenda, very much attuned with, you might say, the basic precepts of good development strategy. He's been, in the 21st century, he's been emphasizing the green economy, the circular economy, the digital economy, the importance of education by free tertiary education. So there are some very innovative elements of using various parts of, creating various new kinds of green energy. So it's all very, very exciting. And I think, my observation is that often small jurisdictions, small economies can often get things together better than very large because they have an ability to focus.
The renowned economist made these comments in an exclusive sit-down with TVS during the Sarawak Future Forum 2024 in Kuching recently. The former senior vice president and chief economist of the World Bank also stressed the need for the state government to implement an inclusive policy and develop a resilient economy to ensure that the region's progress and development benefit all Sarawakians.
In a separate matter, Professor Joseph Stiglitz believes Malaysia needs to restructure its economy, including the education sector, to account for the impact and potential for artificial intelligence (AI) on industries and productivity. He noted that there is a global concern that AI could worsen economic inequality, especially in the job market.
But I think that it will be important for people everywhere to learn how to use AI as a tool to increase their productivity. I think it can help increase productivity if used correctly. It's certainly going to be an important tool. And I think countries are going to have to think about restructuring their economies, recognizing that there will be losses of jobs in some sectors, and so the education system has to respond.
He added that many workers across various sectors worldwide have expressed concerns about the potential loss of jobs due to automation by AI-driven computer systems. Therefore, he emphasized that governments must commit to strengthening their roles in addressing AI challenges, harnessing its potential, and promoting responsible governance to support economic development. Nonetheless, Professor Stiglitz remained optimistic that technological development will continue to advance rapidly. Thus, the capabilities of AI must be aligned with responsible governance to foster a future more conducive to innovation.
Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said Malaysia has requested a waiver of visa requirements on a reciprocal basis with Canada. The request was conveyed to his Canadian counterpart, Justin Trudeau, during a bilateral meeting on the sidelines on the 44th and the 45th ASEAN summits and related summits. On another matter, the Prime Minister said Malaysia welcomes the establishment of the BlackBerry Cyber Security Centre of Excellence (CCOE) in Cyberjaya, which will strengthen cooperation between the two countries in cybersecurity. CCOE, established on March 26 this year, has the potential to become an international hub for addressing emerging cyber threats. Anwar also said Malaysia looks forward to the early conclusion of the Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) on defence cooperation between the two countries. The 44th and 45th ASEAN Summit and related summits, which officially began yesterday, will run until tomorrow. Laos, as ASEAN chairman for 2024, will hand over the chairmanship to Malaysia, which will assume the role as ASEAN chairman for 2025. Malaysia will officially hold the position from January 1st. Laos has officially handed over the ASEAN chairmanship to Malaysia on Friday in Vientiane, marking the conclusion of the 44th and 45th ASEAN summits and related meetings. The closing ceremony, represented by the symbolic transfer of leadership for the regional bloc, setting the stage for Malaysia's stewardship in 2025. In his closing address, Laos Prime Minister Sonexay Siphandone expressed gratitude to the delegates for their cooperation and support throughout Laos' chairmanship before formally passing the ASEAN baton to Malaysia. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim reaffirmed Malaysia's commitment to upholding ASEAN's core values and priorities, emphasizing that under its chairmanship, the bloc will remain steadfast in maintaining Southeast Asia as a peaceful, stable and prosperous region.
Above all, ASEAN will be unflinching in safeguarding Southeast Asia as a peaceful, stable and prosperous region. On behalf of the government and people of Malaysia, I look forward to welcoming you all. Selamat datang ke Malaysia.
He also highlighted the significance of Timor-Leste's inclusion in the regional bloc, stressing that its membership will not only enhance ASEAN's economic potential, but also contribute to the realization of the group's long-term vision.
The future of ASEAN must include Timor-Leste, whose inclusion will expand our region's economy and contribute to fulfilling our grand vision.
On world news, in a tragic incident, 20 coal miners were killed in an overnight attack in Pakistan's southwestern Balochistan province. The assault occurred in the Duki district, where a group of up to 40 heavily armed attackers opened fire on the miners' lodging, according to local police. The attack began around 12:30 a.m. as the assailants, armed with rocket launchers and hand grenades, fired at the miners before fleeing into the night. Authorities confirmed that 7 other individuals were wounded, and the attackers also set fire to machinery on site. 4 of the victims were Afghan nationals, while the rest have yet to be identified. A protester from a nearby district expressed frustration, saying mine workers are frequent targets, yet the government fails to ensure their safety.
माशाम पर योलशने बजे बांधी द पाकिस्तान रियासत मुद्रान दे लगे थे कार कई दूरा गली दमाके पक्ष खड़े दे د دې موږ په سخت ټکو غندنه کوو اوس موږ دا مهال راغلو د کینټ مخته لاشونه مې چې د احتجاجي مظاهره کوو څو پورې چې موږ مطالبه منل سوي نه وي تر هغه پورې موږ د احتجاج نه ختم.
No group has claimed responsibility, but Balochistan separatists often target resource projects, accusing outsiders of exploiting the province's mineral wealth. Baloch militants frequently attack migrant workers, particularly Punjabis. The attack highlights growing violence in the region, where militants frequently target foreign-backed energy projects, including China-funded initiatives. Elon Musk on Thursday unveiled what he said was a robotaxi capable of self-driving, predicting it will be available by 2027, about a decade after he first promised an autonomous vehicle. The Tesla CEO said the fully electric car, which has no steering wheel or pedals, will be priced under $30,000, will be charged wirelessly with inductive technology, and will be 10 to 20 times safer than human-driven cars. Few details were given about the vehicle, whose doors are reminiscent of the DeLorean made famous in the Back to the Future films, but Musk said Tesla already had 50 of them. He said the company was expecting to begin a fully autonomous, unsupervised driving in Texas and California next year with existing model, and then move on to production of what he called the Cybercab. But it also showcased a mass passenger vehicle that Musk called the RoboVan. The vehicle, which which looks like an enormous moving toaster, has no steering wheel, pedals or driver. It can seat up to 20 people or could be converted to carry goods. That's all for TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.